Hello everyone, this is Kishore. Welcome to Lesson 2 under Essential Skills. Now we are going to learn about these many features under Lesson 2. Moving on to the Excel sheet. Now this is my new workbook. How to rename a sheet. Now I am going to rename my sheet. This is sheet 1 which I have been selected. Whenever you select a sheet, this will be like that. So I'm going to rename a sheet like this. I want to rename the sheet with testing. I have renamed the sheet now. Now moving on to the next one, that is tab color. So how to make a sheet with a different color. Sheet tab with a different color. I want to make this with red. Now if you observe, if you go to the next one, it has been changed to red in color. Now I am moving to the next option called insert sheet. How to insert a sheet? If you click this one up, this option, you will be fired a message to insert a worksheet. If you want to insert a worksheet, chart, or these are different things which we haven't covered. So we're going to cover these options in the next session, in the next future lessons. So this is a worksheet which we want to insert. Then click on OK. This is the sheet 4 which has been inserted, but my intention is to insert a sheet at the end of the worksheet, but not at the beginning or not in the middle. Now I'm going to delete the sheet. Just give right click on the sheet and delete. These options will be fired when you given right click on those sheet tabs. Delete this one. Now at the end portion of the sheet, you will be find a small box over here. If you click this one, you will be able to insert a new sheet. If you click like this, you will be able to insert different new sheets. Now this is my new sheet, this is also my new sheet, this is the new sheet. This is how we can insert sheets at the end or in between. If you want to insert any sheets, you can select the respective sheet and insert the sheet. Now it will be inserted between the sheet which you have selected and between the previous sheet. I have selected the sheet 3 and inserted the new sheet. It has been inserted in between sheet 2 and sheet 3. However, you can change the positions of the sheet using mouse left key. Just hold on the mouse left key and drag the sheet from here to any position which you want to insert. This is how I want to change this sheet to first sheet. Like this, you can change drag and drop option. You can change the sheet respective sheet tabs, right? So moving to the next one, view code. This option is different, so we are not going to discuss about this option. Protect sheet. However, we can briefly discuss about this, but not in detail. So protect sheet will give you different options for protecting your sheet. Say if any of the users want to insert any rows and columns, it will not allow you to insert in rows and columns. So if you select this option under protect sheet, as soon as you select this option to insert rows and insert columns, so if you click OK, you have to give some password over here. This is the password. I'm just giving ABC is the password, and again it will fire ABC is the password one more time. Now I'm going to type something. I'll test something. See, I'm not even able to type anything because all this is locked and this has given a security. And even I'm selecting something over here. I would like to delete this one. Even I'm unable to delete this one. Now I'm not even able to get the delete command because this sheet is protected by someone with password. Now I'm changing this protect sheet to unprotect sheet. ABC is the password which I have given. So now I am able to delete the sheet and even I am able to type something. See here. Now I am able to delete if I want ABC or something like that. I can delete this sheet. I can delete this column. Earlier I am unable to delete this column. Now see, delete this column. Like this you can delete these columns. So we have seen how to protect the sheet. Now tab color we have already seen. Now moving to the hide mode. Before going to hide, if you observe below, unhide option is in disable mode. It is not enabled, but hide is enable mode. Why the unhide mode is disable mode? Because none of the sheets in this workbook are in hide mode. If you click any of the sheets in hide mode, then if you see, you give right click, see now unhide mode is lit up. Now if you click unhide mode, you can see sheet 8 is under hide mode. You can just select the sheet 8 and click OK. Now you can unhide the sheet. Like this you can hide and unhide the respective sheets which your requirement based on your requirement. So there is one more option called select all sheets. So now if I use this option, I will be able to select all the sheets at the point. Generally, say for example, this is one of the examples. Say I am typing hello world. When I type hello world, if I go to the next sheet, that is called testing, sheet 2, sheet 3, there is nothing else on the top of the where I have typed in cell A1. This is the address of the cell. If you go to the next sheet, there is nothing else. If I use this select all option, if I type something, now it will be typed in all the sheets which are available in the worksheet. See, I'm moving to the next sheet. Sheet 2, this is available. Sheet 3, this is available. Sheet 6, this is available. Sheet 7, this is also available. So this option will be very much helpful for you to change the entire portion in all the sheets. It means if any similar work in all the sheets, or if any similar cell which is available in all the sheets, if you want to change that particular cell in all the sheets, you can change that cell in first sheet, then it will be applicable to all the sheets with this option. That option called select all the sheets. Now coming to row selection and column selection. Now how to select a row? If you observe this area, there is a arrow key. With this arrow key, if you keep the cursor position on header row, these are called header rows. ABC is the header row and 1, 2, 3 is the header row. So now if I keep the cursor position on any of the header rows, it will be fire a arrow mark. If I click that arrow mark, I will be able to select different rows. If you use shift option, you can go through different rows like this. You can use shift and arrow keys, you can select different rows. In the same way, you can keep the cursor position on any of the columns. You can select the columns like this. If you use control, you can select different columns which are not in one after another. So like this I can be able to select. If those columns, if you want to select the columns which are available one another, so now I have selected this column, then use shift key and arrow keys to select different columns. You can also delete the selected columns using right click. Like this you can delete the columns, you can delete these columns. So this is how we can select a row and a column. Now moving into the selection of cells. How to select different cells? You just use the shift key and select the keys. Select the cells which you want to select using right arrow, left arrow, up arrow and down arrow. Like this you can select the cells. Then my intention is to select different cells which are not in a specific row or specific column. Say for example, I want to select one cell here, one cell here, one cell here. So how do I need to select this one? So we can select like this. Just click this here using mouse, then hold control key, then click here, then click here. Like this you can select all the 3 cells at one time. So how to do the same thing using keyboard? Now I am going to use the keyboard option. Just use shift, hold the shift key and click F8 key, then come to the next position or next cell which you want to select. Then again hold shift key, click F8 key twice, then again come here and click shift and F8 key twice. Like this I can also select different cells which are not even in even rows or even columns. Like this I can select. So now this is how we can select different cells, multiple cell selection. Now moving on to Excel views and other features. What do you mean by Excel views? We have already discussed about Excel views in the previous session, but let us briefly discuss about Excel views. This is called Excel views. Here you can observe there are three different options here: normal view, page layout view, and page break view. This is called normal view. What we are seeing here is the normal view. Now we are moving to the page break view, page layout view. Now if you observe, this is similar to print preview. Then what is the difference between page break view and print preview? Under print preview, you cannot say, for example, I'm moving into the normal view and I'm giving a printout. See now 1, 5, 7, these values are there. If I want to change this 7 value as 8, I cannot change here. I have to go back. Then I have to change here. Like this I have to change. Or like this I have to change. But if I want to change the same under page layout view, I can change directly over here. I can give printout from here itself. I can give printout from here. So this is similar to the printout print preview. This is similar to the print preview. You can directly edit whatever you want and you can give printout. Generally, when we type something, until unless we go to the print preview, we don't know whether it is exceeding the page or not. But in page layout view, you will be able to understand whether it is exceeding the page or not by typing any values over here. If you are typing any value, it means if you are going over here, means you will be able to understand this is moving towards to the next page. In the same way, if you're going down itself, you are moving from here, means you are going to the next page. So like this you will be able to understand and you can give. Unlike not only like this, you can also do many things using page layout view, giving headers and footers and different options. This we are going to discuss about in a later session in detail. Now I am moving into page break view. What is the difference between page break view and normal view and print preview? Page layout view. Now I am moving into the page break view. See, observe here. If you observe here, these are the different pages which are available with page numbers and page breaks. In any of the other versions, any of the other views, you cannot view these page breaks. These page breaks or dotted lines are automatically given by software. You can also change these page breaks using using mouse left key. Just hold on mouse left key and drag it to anywhere else you want. So if you observe, when you drag something, it is changing to solid line. If you observe, this is solid line. But earlier this is actually a dotted line. Why it is moving to the solid line? Whenever you change the page breaks which have already been given by software, it will be changed to solid line. This helps the user it helps the end user to understand these are the manually adjusted page breaks. Whenever there is a solid line, means this is manually adjusted page break. This is something like this. So we have already seen what is the views. Now moving on to the status bar. What is the meaning? What do you mean by a status bar? We can see the status of different values or different functions on the status bar. See, if I right click on the status bar, I can be able to see all my average, numerical count, maximum and minimum. Now I'm deleting something else. I am unchecking something else. Now what I'm going to see is I'm typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I would like to see the sum of these values. You can see the sum of these values, but I would also like to see which is the minimum value out of this selection, which is the maximum value out of this selection. From here you can see minimum value and maximum value. I would also like to see the count of values which have been selected. I would also like to see the average of my selection. You can see like this. See, average is 3 and count is 5. Minimum value of my selection is 1. Maximum value of my selection is 5. This saves a lot of your time to explore different functionalities. It means to understand which is the minimum value, maximum value, what is the sum of the selection or something like that. Otherwise you have to use some function, or you have to select and you have to click alt equal to know the sum, or you have to know count function. This we are going to discuss in a later session. Right. We have discussed about status bar. Then what about save and save as? Now we are moving to the save and save as functionality. I'm just closing this Excel sheet. I'm opening, I have already opened one more Excel sheet. This is the Excel sheet which is called test XLSX. Now I'm going to save this with save as functionality. This is already saved workbook which have been opened. Okay, however, let us see one more functionality. How to open a workbook which is already been saved. Now I'm going to open a workbook which is already been saved. So see, just click on file, open, click on open. Now it will direct to the folder. You have to give directions to the application in which folder your saved Excel sheet is available. In my case, that is available in desktop test. Like this, you can open any of the saved workbook from your system. Now we are going to discuss about save and save as functionality. Now I am going to color this area as yellow color. Now I want to save this as something else. I want to save the same workbook with yellow color of the selected area with test_1. Now I am going to save this in the same path. Now save this one. Now I am going to close this Excel sheet. Now I am going to open the same Excel sheet. That is, first one is test, and again I am going to open the second Excel sheet. You can also use open work. You can also open worksheet using Control O option, or you can use file menu, then click on open option as you like. Then I am going to open test 1. Now you can see test 1 is colored with yellow, and test 2 I am going to check the floating windows. See, this is my floating window. This is another floating window. See the difference between these two. This is my save as workbook. This is my original workbook. You can save a workbook like this. However, we have different functionalities while we are saving a workbook. See, now I'm opening an Excel sheet. I'm opening my Excel workbook which has already been saved. Now I'm going to open test. Now if you observe this one, I'm going to save this as, you can use file. You can save this workbook not only like another workbook, you can also save type as XLSX. These are all the different types where you can see and save the workbook with different saving types. Those are, see here, macro enabled workbook. What is the macro? This is very widely used workbook functionality. This is what do you mean by XLSM? Macro enabled workbook means in 2007 books you cannot see XLSM functionality or XLSM extension. It means if anyone shared you a workbook, you don't know whether it contains those. Means in case of potential threats with the macros, if you open that sheet, there might be a chance with your past opening. Because of such kind of issues, from 2007 and 2010, from 2007 onwards, Microsoft incorporated XLSM. So you will be able to understand whether the sheet contain macros or not. By this, you will be able to, by the view of the Excel sheet itself, you will be able to understand how an sheet is shared for you or whether the normal Excel sheet has been shared for you. So it helps you to avoid potential threats to your system. This is one function, and also create macros only through this functionality. You cannot create macros in XLSS functionality. Now moving on to the Excel binary workbook functionality. Save Excel workbook save type means in case if your worksheet has large number of data to be processed, they use Excel functionality. Otherwise, your worksheet will be very slow. When compared to all other types, Excel binary workbook functionality will help you to process the data as when compared to all other Excel types, all other save as types. So now 97 and 93 workbook, that is called Excel S. Say for example, if any of your end users do not have capability to view 2007 and 2010 Excel sheet, that is called extension with Excel SX, you can save this workbook with 2003 and 2007 version, that is XLS save type. And one more important save type is PDF, portable document format. So you can also save this document as PDF. If you select and save, you can save this as PDF functionality. You can also check this out. So these are all the different functionalities and different save types which are available in Excel 2010. There are a lot of different functionality which we don't require to check right now. We will be checking all this functionality in later sessions. So these are all the different options which are available under save type. Now moving on to the next one, Excel backstage view, pin worksheet, pin location, and unsaved Excel sheets extraction. Now all these functionalities which we have seen now are from Excel front view. Now let us go to the backstage view of Excel. This is the backstage view of the Excel sheet. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to the recent option. This is called info. What is the information which is giving here is so when this Excel sheet is created and author is the author of the Excel sheet, there are different options will also be there, and file location of the respective Excel sheet which is available from where you have opened. These are all the options which are available over here. And I'm going to recent. So this is how recent workbooks and recent places. So what is this and what is the difference between these two? So recent workbooks which have opened will be shown here. If you observe here, there are some pin marks. This is called pin mark. So one is already pinned. What is the difference between pin and unpinned? If I pin this worksheet, if I pin any of these worksheet, see here, I am going to pin this one. When I pin this one, immediately it is moving to the upward, it is moving exactly in front of all other Excel sheets. See here, I am unpinning this one. It is moving downwards. So when I pin this, it is moving, because pinning means you are giving an instruction to the Excel sheet. It is very frequently used Excels. So whenever you open number of Excel sheet day by day, all these Excels will be disappeared, because it will be saved up to some limit. Later it will be gone. So when you pin some other Excel sheet respect to Excel, so it will not be gone from your selection. It will not disappear from the list. It will always be on top of the Excels which you generally open versus frequently open. This is how it opens. In the same way, this is also recent places which you generally visited and frequently visited site or frequently visited places can be pinned like this. If you generally want to go this one, you can pin like this. It will be go up. Like this you can do. So in the same way, one more important and fantastic features of Excel 2010 is recover unsaved workbook. Say, if I click this one, these are all the unsaved workbooks which have been saved in the local system. So every 10 minutes, general Excel feature is every 10 minutes one worksheet will be saved, even though you are saved that worksheet or not. Sometimes, say for example, there is a power cut and you are doing very important work. Since 2 hours you are doing the same work, but you forgot to save that Excel sheet. Immediately your laptop got shut down, or something is happened, or something is wrong and your laptop got shut down, or something is happened. In such scenario, for each and every 10 minutes one version of Excel will be stored in the local system. You can access those Excels without any problem. Even you didn't save that particular Excel sheet, it saves a lot of your time, a lot of your valuable time too. So this is how it will be saved. Generally Excel will save for each and every 10 minutes, and it will have almost 4 days data. It will have 4 days Excel sheets, 4 days unsaved Excel sheets which you have created. Like this you can utilize this unsaved functionality, recent files functionality. Under recent you can see recover unsaved workbook functionality. Right. Coming to the next one, open a workbook from the file system. from the system. See, we have already seen an option called Control O option. You can select and open any of the workbook, or you can select from file and open. And last but not the least for this session is help option. If you want to see the help of any of the particular commands on the ribbon, say for example, I am going to keep my cursor on the command that is called font. So if I keep the cursor position on the command, it is automatically giving me press F1 for more help. So if I click this one, if I keep the cursor position and click F1, then automatically it will direct me to check, or it will help me to understand what is this functionality and how do we require to use this functionality. If you observe below, this is called offline. This is offline. It means all these features, all this information is coming from your local system, not from online. You can also see the details from online by clicking this one. You can just use this show content from office.com. If you click this one, it will show you content from Office if your internet is on. Fine. However, you can also use browse like this. You can use sum function. I want to see some functionalities related to sum from local system I am using now, because I am offline right now. So I can use some functionality. Say for example, I don't know something about sum. I want to see some information about sum, and I want to type whatever the information which give me. See, this is sum functionality. I have to type something like this. Sum. Come on. It is disappearing. How to keep it as it is, and I want to do some work. You can use this pin function, pin option, keep on top. Now, even though if I use this 1, 2, 3, 4, now I want to sum this one. Sum functionality, it is stating SUM sum and giving number 1. It is also stating number 1 and number 2, which you want to sum. Now, see, my sum is 6. So I want to keep the help window on top of the screen without closing or without going backward. So I can use this pin functionality. If you unpin this one, it will, now if you click here, that will disappear. If you pin this one, that will not disappear. That will be on top of the screen itself. So this is the end of the lesson. Thanks for listening, and let us meet in the next session.